Hey guys, this is Volnot. I'm gonna show you how I made the remake of the song called Magnetic from ILLIT. It's a K-pop song. I think you have already heard on the socials, and the sound is awesome. The sound design is awesome. So here's a preview of how my remake sounds like. Yeah, it's something like this. And first, it starts with a Pluck sound, a very delicate or a cute sound, and I love it. I believe it's made of sine wave. Some people is recreating it with a square wave, but I think it's definitely a sine wave because the sound sounds very pure. The sound is not harsh, and it sounds more like a pure sound. So this is a Pluck that I created. Okay, it's a very simple sound. Let me show you the MIDI as well. Okay, here is a MIDI. Yeah, you can pause it and just type it in your DAW, or you can play it if you're a very good keyboard player. I'm not. So let's create it from scratch. I'm not gonna create every sound from scratch, but some very important sounds I will try to create it from the default setting. Okay, so here's the default setting. Yeah, it's very noisy. Let's turn it down. So it's just a simple sawtooth, and it sounds terrible right now. So let's change the oscillator to basic shapes here. Then boom, it sounds magic. And let's just use this sine wave, and I'm gonna just use the oscillator A. And the important character of this sound is the release. It has the original sound has a little long release to this Pluck sound. So yeah, let's set it to 1.7. Yeah, this is sounding very nice. And let's turn down the decay and sustain a bit. So it's not gonna entirely disturb the upcoming notes. Yeah, the sound is gonna quickly decrease, but it has a long release, so it can stay. The beautiful sound can stay there for a while, right? You know what I mean. Yeah, if you check it with the EQ, it has some low. You can see some low frequency here, which is not good for the mix if you're just creating a high frequency sound. So let's filter it and make it a little more interesting. We're going to use the flangers here, and the last one, 12HL 6 minus, and it looks like this. By the way, I'm not using a default skin, so the design of Serum is a bit different, but basically you can see the same setting. I love this color here, but you can see the same settings, and we're gonna turn up the HL with almost to the max level and turn on the resonance, because I could hear some high frequency character of the original sound being emphasized. So yeah, I think around here, the cutoff is around here, and you can see it's cutting the unnecessary low ends. Then turn on the unison to 6. Turn down the detune about 0.01. And turn down the bend as well, about 40, so you can have some nice stereo sound. And I'm using the compressor here. I'm using multiband, and turn the mix to about 50% because you want to keep the original character of it, but it's more balanced sound right now. And I put a reverb. Mix is about 36%, and that's it. And I heard on the original track, when the notes goes higher, the character of the sound goes a little hard as well. So to recreate this sound, I used the square wave, which I said not to use in the beginning, but let's use the square wave and also the sine wave and mix them together. So by default, the wavetable jumps like this, and it's not a good sound. So we have to morph between them, and we are just using the sine wave and the square wave. And so let's select the unnecessary ones, the 2 and 3 and minus. Select 2 and minus, and select this one minus this. So now we only have the sine wave and the square wave, and they should be looking like this. Yeah, still it's not. If you move the wavetable, it sounds terrible. So let's select 1 and 2 by pushing the shift key. Select both and morph crossfade. Then boom, the wavetable went to 1 to 256. And if you see this wavetable position visualizer, now it's morphing between sine wave and square wave. Yeah, so the square wave is a little harsh sound, and it's too harsh for this song. So we just want to use a bit, just a tiny bit of it when the notes goes higher. So we're gonna use the note source here. So you can see the dot goes up when the notes goes higher. So we can use this morph to the wavetable position. Just use it just tiny, tiny bit. Yeah, this is good. This sounds good. Yeah, so this is how I made this very beautiful pluck. It's basically a sine wave. And the rest of the sound, the MIDI pattern sounds like this. Yeah, it's basically a repetition of these patterns. They also have the chord, and I believe they are using sine wave for this too. Yeah. Yeah, and they are slightly off-grid because I believe the original sound is a little bit off-grid too. It's like a arpeggio, a very quick arpeggio, and I'm using. I just used the sound that we created, the Pluck sound here. Yeah, just copy this sound here, boom, and let's turn up the unison to 10. Also the detune a bit, about 0.05. Yeah, this is basically it, and you can use it as a chord. Let's check the very iconic bass sound here. Yeah, so this is a very beautiful and aggressive bass sound at the same time. And I think it's a type of sound that is used in the many electronic sounds. Let's try to recreate this sound because I think it's very important. So here I'm starting from the default. And it sounds like shit, but here's the MIDI pattern. Yeah, it's basically the repetition of this for the entire song. And the wavetable is basic mini. And the wavetable position is about is 3. Let's turn the level. Then I used the bend, and let's modulate it with the LFO1 and use the bend plus minus here. Yeah, it's bending a bit. And also turn on the filter and select a low pass filter, the low 6. Yeah, and put the LFO1 here and press shift option and click here, because I don't want the cutoff to go both ways. Okay, yeah, and it's very important to use this filter. If you use other low-pass filters which are 12 or 18, it's not gonna sound similar to the original because it cuts the high end too much. So I think low 6 is very close to the original, and LFO pattern is 1/8, and I'm using the envelope mode here. And let's turn down the octave here. Okay, it sounds very nice. Then let's copy. Let me just use the default skin because the menu icon is different here. So you wanna copy the entire setting of oscillator A to oscillator B. So click here, menu, and open. Click the copy oscillator A to B with modulation. So now A and B is totally the same setting, but you want to use a higher up. And it's a little harsh now, so you want to turn down the level. Also, you want to include the oscillator B to the filter. And also turn on the sub and use a sine wave just to make the bass sound fuller. And then for the FX section, I was using the hyper and dimension and turn down the hyper. I'm just using the dimension, and you don't want to use it too much, so turn down the size and turn up the mix just a bit, about 30%. So you can have a slightly stereo sound for this bass, and for basses you don't want to go fully stereo. It sounds good, but after all, it's gonna be a little messed up in some audio equipments. And the next is distortion. I'm just turned up the drive, but it's too harsh, so turn down the mix. So you can have both the harsh sound and the original sound before the distortion. And it's nice to put some chorus, just a little bit. If you put too much, it's gonna sound like this. So yeah, just about 30%. And here you have a very interesting Plucky bass. You can use it for many electronic sounds. It's very basic.